Are you emotionally unstable? Are your feelings causing you to lose opportunity, friends, lovers, family? Well, here we're going to talk about ways that we can control. It's your girl, Bob, and God is here giving you guys another food for thought on this channel. I want to talk to you guys about our emotions because your girl has had moments. My feelings literally have caused me to lose opportunities, lose good people in my life, and make even family members to be like, you know what, you acting cray. So today I want to talk to you guys about how we have to control our feelings as individuals, because nobody wants to deal with somebody who, when they feel the way, it justifies them acting crazy. It justifies them doing something that was hurtful. I am here to inform you that your feelings really don't matter. I know it's hard to hear that, but the truth of the matter is a lot of times, let me give you guys an example. Before I had a really great, well, I've had many good jobs, but this job was really great, and they were asking me to come in different days to work, and I needed the money. I was available to come. There was nothing going on, but just because I didn't feel like going to work, I would be like, I can't come into work today. I'm sorry. And I'll make it an excuse, and then I'll be at home, just be like, oh, I just didn't want to go to work. And I would be okay until the end of the month came and it was time to pay bills. And then I'll just be sitting there crying boo-hoo. And the Most High was just like, what you crying for? You was in your feelings. Let your feelings pay the bills, isn't it? And it was at that moment that I realized my feelings don't matter. They are just a feel, something that you are experiencing at that moment, but that doesn't have to dictate the trajectory of the rest of the day, the rest of the month, or let that dictate the entire situation. You can acknowledge that you're feeling a certain way and work through that feeling to get to the other side. That's why I am saying that sometimes your feelings can really make you lose opportunities, make you say something wrong to your lover that you can't take back, and he's like, I'm done. And it's really important that we get emotional intelligence. We are able to gauge situations when it's time to actually be emotional, when it's time to actually confront something that you're feeling emotional, when it's time to wait. So that is what we're getting into in this topic. Let me ask you a question. Has your feelings ever got you to success? Like, has it really ever got you to where you wanted to get to? For me, the answer is no. It didn't solve not one problem, but a lot of times my feelings have really actually escalated things, actually made things go into a negative downhill spiral, to be honest. It just made me to be like, you know what? In the midst of me being frustrated, I need to have like a game plan. I need to have things that I do are really effective to help me calm down so that I don't end up being a monster. So let's get into some tips that I found that was very useful when I'm feeling really upset, I'm feeling very emotional, and how I can really manage myself well in the midst of frustration to where I'm not a liability, to where I don't end up spilling my emotions when I don't need to, and overall can better manage the situation. I was listening to something a long time ago, and she was talking about haters and your enemies and stuff like that, and how when people frustrate you and stuff like that, or when they're trying to get a response from you, they like when they know that they're doing something wrong, and then you come with your emotions and you're like, what you did really made me feel this way. And they're like, oh really? And in reality, you feel like in you saying that to them, they're going to be like, oh, I made her feel sad, I should stop that. But some people, when you express your emotions, not being emotionally regulated, not being in control of your emotions, engaging the situation, gauging if the person actually really cares the thing that they're doing. Is it a continuous thing? Is it something that you have explain to them to not do and they're still doing? You have to be able to sit there and take your emotions out of the situation and say, am I going to keep getting angry and be like, you're making me feel, and they're just so happy that every single time they're doing things to trigger you, and you keep affirming them that it's working by expressing your feelings and being emotional? Or are you able to sit back and be like, okay, I've asked you to not do this and you've done it 6 times now. That obviously means that you just don't care. So I should remove the ability for me to come to you and be vulnerable and say, what you're doing is actually hurting me. I should remove that because you don't deserve it, because you know what you're doing and you don't care, and you are planning to do it more, to even hurt me more. So at that time, it is the time for you to actually step back and say, you know what, this is not an emotional thing that I need to be crying over. I've stated what my needs are. I've stated that I don't like this, I don't like that, to please stop doing this, and they're still doing it. So I need to now remove my emotions from them, stop crying boo-hoo, and put boundaries in my life to where I don't need to escalate my emotions. I don't need to feel like I'm being taken advantage of and having to yell now, because I already can see this is not something that the person is on accident doing. This is something that they're doing on purpose. So I just want to put that out there, that sometimes also with our emotions, we also have to gauge the person or the thing that's making us to be upset, and to see if this is a continuous thing, and to stop putting ourselves through emotional abuse. And then now you're wondering why you keep flaring up. It's because the thing that's triggering you keeps happening over and over again, and there's no resolution to it. It just keeps escalating. So you gotta also nip things in the bud and have boundaries. And then now when things go out of, control, or when something actually triggers you, it could be a sudden brand new triggering, not the same triggering that happens every day, and you fail to put boundaries around it. So here's some tips that I found useful. In the midst of being upset, what is the first thing that I like to do is I like to avoid contacting any and everybody. Y'all know this one because we like to call everybody, Tiffany, Shaniqua, Johnny, everybody who listened. Do you know what happened? And it's unnecessary. There's no point in telling people. You know why? Because when this situation gets resolved, they will always remember the altercation. They will always remember what you said. And a lot of times they don't forgive the other person, and they will hold it over your head. And also, if it was something that was private, that a lot of times when we're in our emotions, we end up spilling out stuff we should not even be saying, it will be used against you. So it's very important that when you're in the midst of being upset with your man, your friend, your coworker, your boss, keep it to yourself for a moment and just really internalize it, because we end up spilling beans to the wrong person, and now we put ourselves at risk. So first thing, turn off your phone, okay? Just turn off your phone, go somewhere, go ahead and play some Spotify music, go on YouTube, put something on your TV that's music that's relaxing, and just sit there and just take everything in for a second. I know it's hard at this moment because we actually keep replaying the situation that happened over 1,000,000 times in our head. But that's the reason why you should take this moment to really breathe, really talk to the Most High, whatever God it is that you are serving, to just be like, God, what is going on here? That person pissed me off. And you could even be replaying it to God. You could be talking to him about it, and he's like, all right, settle down. He's going to speak to you through it. So I actually turn off my phone for a couple of hours just to avoid talking to anybody that I don't need to talk to, avoid any more extra people that are coming in to gossip, to just make it more fiery, make the situation worse. 2, I ask the Most High to help me in that moment. These are times where you could do yoga, you can meditate, you could do a prayer, you could just literally say, okay, I'm going to lay down, play some music, play some relaxing music, play some worship music, and just chill out for a second. Chill out for 12 hours, 24 hours. I would say to go away from the situation, go away from the person for a couple of hours if possible, even 12 to 24 hours if possible, if you're able to really clear your mind, to gather your thoughts, gather where you went wrong, take acknowledgement of where you went wrong, what you did to flare up the situation, things you could have done that would have avoided this from even happening in the first place. Acknowledge and take ownership of the areas where you played a part in the situation and how you can actually do better the next time. And, really just sit in the situation to see what's going on. Gather your feelings and your frustrations, okay? 4, if you have someone that you talk to, I find it very important now more than ever to have a counselor. And the reason why I feel like it's good to have a counselor, because there's going to be things that our husband, our friends, our families will do. And I just feel like it's just not safe sometimes to trust another human being that's in your circle, because a lot of times humans will be humans, and there will be a time where you guys may not be friends anymore. And all of your juice, all of your secrecy, all of your privacy will be exposed. That's why, it's just unfortunate, but sometimes when the jab needs to be given and you hit below the belt with that person, they're going to hit even more below the belt by exposing all of your mess, which is the best and the biggest jab of all. Because when they do spill your beans, everybody will believe them. You know why? Because who would have been the only people in the room? You and that other individual. So how would she know that information unless she told? How would he know that information unless she told him? Exactly. So that's why I just come to realize it's good to have a counselor, because the counselor doesn't hang out with you every day, doesn't see you, doesn't know you. It's not close proximity to where they can get their feelings hurt. They are an unbiased person hearing your issue and bringing and shedding light on the areas where you went wrong and the areas where the other person went wrong without any favoritism, which I think that's the best. And they also can go back on things that you've talked about in previous situations to be like, you know what, Jessica, you have a habit of always letting people step over you from the last couple of situations that happened, and actually bring some knowledge to you about your behavior. So I would say get a counselor. It's very cheap. Using the counselors that charge $20, $50 per session, get a counselor and help them help you with your emotions and to regulate your life. I would also say you could journal. Journaling is something that's really great to do. You can also just kind of write out your feelings. I'm feeling really upset right now. This is the something. Write it out and, release it, and take that and put it in a safe spot where, nobody's going to touch it, in a box that's locked, suitcase that's locked, whatever it is, to where you can, express your emotions. To be honest, I haven't journaled only because sometimes I had that, that little fear of like writing out all of my problems, all things on a piece of notebook, and then that notebook end up being grabbed by somebody to be like, oh, I need a piece of paper, and then Jesus Christ, I'm not at it. No. I don't know. I got to work through that, y'all. I got to work that out with my counselor. But to be honest, the most effective thing that I have done so far that really has helped me with gauging my emotions is really actually taking when I'm first upset at that very moment, really playing jazz music and like shutting off my phone and not talking to anybody for a little bit. That has been the best thing for me, because God ends up speaking to me and my own inner spirit ends up talking to me like, you know what, but why did you have to yell though? Why did you come in with that tone? And I would just be like, you know what, I'm not here for all this. My inner self would already start talking to me. And when I really walk away for about a good couple of hours and I don't have no contact with that person for a while, 12 to 24 hours, I really do come back with first enough to look at where my errors were and where the other person's errors were, and actually be able to come and be more calm. And, secondly is having a counselor has been life-changing, to be honest, because I don't end up spilling my beans to the wrong person. When I go out with my friends, when I go out with people, I'm just coming there free to hang out and have fun. I'm not coming there to spill beans on, do you know what my friend did just a couple of minutes ago? No, I just say that for my counseling session that I have once or twice a week with my counselor. And not only am I able to talk to somebody who's more effective to hear that, but it's also great with giving me strategies on how to handle it better the next time. So that has been really life-changing for me. But I really just want to talk to you guys about being emotionally intelligent, because it's a lot to be dealing with someone who, when they upset you, they're breaking windows, breaking glasses, yelling, calling people. I have seen the destruction that happens when people are emotionally unstable and they result in any physical attacks, because now you're putting your life at risk. Now you're putting the other person's life at risk. And if the person's really, really tired of you behind, you're going to jail. So it's really never that serious to where you're like, you cheating on me? You're breaking glass, you're breaking whatever. The glass hitting the other girl, she now presses charges. Now you're in jail for 4 years. Like, it's not worth it. Control your emotions, control your body, control who you touch. Just because someone pissed you off does not give you the right to touch somebody. Keep your hand to yourself and walk away if the situation is not conducive to you, you know? And two, I've seen how when people really are upset, especially us women, the first thing we do is call everybody in the nation. And I've seen that happen with people in their marriages. And to this day, they don't like their wife. They don't like their husband. It doesn't matter what they say. Oh yeah, this person, yeah, they bought me a car. They bought me. It doesn't matter. He still cheated on you 15 times. It don't matter. She's still blah, blah. It doesn't matter. Blah, 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 blah. You can never undo it. Never. It's like whatever seed you planted of exposing your beings is forever planted, and not anything that the person does can ever uproot it. I see. So I really feel like that is one of the biggest things, is like learning to keep your mouth shut in the midst of being upset and going to cool off for a while before you end up saying something you're going to regret. But hey, it's your girl Evolving Goddess here, giving you guys another food for thought. I hope that in this message, you really are able to see how important it is to really gather your mind in the midst of being upset and learn to, it's okay, because different things are going to test us in different seasons of our life. But what I feel is the best is that if you're able to go through a situation and walk out of it with lessons on how you're going to make sure that either this doesn't happen or that you're going to control or be a better steward at your emotion the next time around it happens, and actually being a good steward of your emotions the next time it comes around and said, oh, you know what? I typically would have yelled and slapped a couple people. And you know what? I just sat there and just minded my business. That right there is already an accomplishment. And as you do that, the next step is going to be, you know what? When they did that, before I would have slapped them, before I would have, rolled my eyes, I didn't even do nothing at all this time. Every step, we keep getting better and better to where we are really good at handling our emotions. So it is not just only beneficial for you, but people are watching you. People like to trigger people. People like to be energy vampires in this world. So it's very important to control yourself, control your energy, control what you give your time to, what you allow to occupy your mind, because your mind and your time is money. It's valuable. It will determine how far you go in life. And if you're spending all your time harboring thoughts, feelings, being angry at people, you are not going to progress. So it's really important to manage your emotions so people want to be around you, people stay around you, you don't lose opportunities, and you advance in life. So yeah, I hope this message really blessed you. If you like the messages and the videos that I am posting, please like it so that we can get this video circulated in the world. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate you subscribing and being part of the fam bam. All right, y'all, have a blessed day and stay tuned. Peace.